Jnanatimidandasya Vimanjana Shalakaya Chakshuramitanjaya Tasmai Shri Guru. So we are going to hear something about Srila Gurudev's early days. So this is section 1, early years, and chapter 1, surrender. Appearance in Bamampar. Celebrated kirtan leader, scholar, and traditional guru Nitai Pada Das Adhikari and his wife Tarangini Devi were heartbroken when their firstborn child passed away just 1 year after his birth. The couple went to visit Shiburaj Shiva, an ancient deity of Lord Shiva, at a renowned temple in the village of Jamalpur. With offerings of Lord Shiva's favorite bael leaves and holy Ganges water, the couple prayed to him for a son, with the promise that the boy would observe a traditional rite of passage in his teens by accepting temporary vows of renunciation, a custom known popularly as Shiva Sannyas. It was soon afterwards that the child appeared on Wednesday, 18th December 1929, at around 4 a.m. in Bamampar, a village in West Bengal, India, within the sacred land of Sri Gauda Mandal, about 25 kilometers from the divine appearance place of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Nitai Pada's forefathers were Brahmins belonging to the disciplic succession of Sriman Nityananda Prabhu. For generations they have been worshipping deities of Sri Sri Radha Gopinath, who were installed by Nityananda Prabhu's son, Virachandra Prabhu. From his birth, Srila Gurudev, whom his parents named Dharma Das, engaged in the service of these deities. As he grew up in the atmosphere of Sri Gauda Mandal, steeped in Gaudiya Vaishnava culture, from an early age he began to study the Sampradaya's literature, learn the kirtans written by the great acharyas, and live according to the etiquette and customs prescribed in the revealed scriptures. In time, he began to accompany his father to Vaishnava festivals throughout West Bengal, and quickly became an expert singer and mridanga player. Family duty. Nitai Pada passed away when Srila Gurudev was just 14 years old. At that time, he surprised his relatives by stepping forward to perform his father's duty as a lead kirtaniya. And then we have a quote here from Srila Gurudev. One day I saw my uncle sitting on the veranda crying. He was very strong and a stick fighter. And stick fighting, it's like a tradition, and you probably saw it before in India. I haven't seen it, but some tradition. So his uncle was some big muscly stick fighter. So it was unusual for him to be sitting and crying like that. Indeed, he was a famous stick fighter, so it was very unusual for him to be in such a state. After seeing this, I asked my uncle why he was crying. He then told me a call had just come from my father to sing at a particular function, but the caller did not know that my father had already passed away. That had touched my uncle's heart and caused his sadness. My uncle said that the person would call back, but he had no one to sing in my father's place. I told my uncle that there was a solution and he could take the call. He seemed surprised. Who will sing these songs? He asked me. I told him I can sing them. My uncle had never heard me sing before, and he asked me how I had come to know these songs, because at that time I was too young to hear the songs about the Madhura Ras pastimes of Sri Sri Radha Krishna. My father would not permit me to sing such kirtans, because my father thought me at such a young age to be unqualified. I was not even allowed to listen to songs of such a high type. Nonetheless, I was very much attracted. So whenever my father would go to sing, I would follow him, and hide in a nearby rice paddy field, where I was able to hear him sing these songs. Sometimes it would take him a whole month to fulfill all the invitations in a particular village. I was very much addicted to the songs of Radha Krishna, and at that time my memory was very fresh, and I was able to memorize every song he sang. Also, every day my father would give lessons to some students, while I pretended to read a little distance away. Instead of reading, I would listen to him teaching. In this way, I became qualified. I explained this to my uncle. Although he was very surprised, he called me to his house to sing a heavy song. I sang it fully, and he cried again and embraced me. He now knew that he would be able to take the phone call and tell them, "Yes, my brother is not here, but my brother's son will fulfill your appointment." And then back to the text. As the eldest son, Srila Gurudev became responsible for his entire family after the passing of his father. Thus, at the age of 16, he took up work as a doctor's assistant in the nearby village of Nadangat and began to send funds home to maintain his mother and 2 younger brothers. Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Mat. In 1941, the renowned Rupanuga Acharya, Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Dev Goswami Maharaj, established a small mat in Sri Navadvip Dham, about 25 kilometers from Bamampar. Srila Sridhar Maharaj, known affectionately to his disciples and followers as Srila Guru Maharaj, was the foremost representative of the teachings of his Guru, the self-effulgent modern guardian and emissary of the Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. In service to the ideals established by his Gurudev, Srila Sridhar Maharaj started Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Mat in a humble way, building a modest thatched hut on a small piece of vacant land. As he did so, however, he erected a flag atop a tall bamboo pole and composed a Sanskrit verse that summarized the aim of his mission. Srimat Chaitanya Saraswata Matavada Udgita Kirti Jayasham Bibrat Sambati Gangatata Nikata Navadvipa Kolaji Raje Yacha Shri Gaur Saraswata Mata Nirata Gaur Gata Grananti Nityam Rupanuga Shri Kritamati Gurgaranga Radha Jitasha. Carrying aloft the victory flag of its celebrated glory, the great Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Mat shines near the bank of the Ganges in Sri Navadvip Dham, within Sri Gupta Govardhan in Sri Koladvip. There, the followers of the Conception, coming from Sri Gauranga to Srila Saraswati Thakur, spread the glory of Sri Gauranga and aspire eternally to serve Sri Guru Sri Gauranga and Sri Sri Radha Govinda in the line of Sri Rupa. Srila Guru Maharaj began his mission alone, and gradually some of his godbrothers and a few sincere seekers began to assist him. From time to time, he started to send out a group of brahmacharis from the mat to spread Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's teachings throughout the surrounding areas. And it so happened that in May of 1947, when Srila Gurudev was 17 years old, a party sent by Srila Guru Maharaj arrived in Nadangat. And unbeknownst to them at first, found the great soul who in time would fulfill the aim and ideals of Srila Guru Maharaj's mission in every respect. Inspired by the Sadhus Association, the brahmacharis began daily classes and kirtan in the village center, and Srila Gurudev was immediately attracted to them. Srila Gurudev had been an avid reader from childhood and studied numerous Vaishnava scriptures. So when he saw these sadhus speaking to the crowds of hundreds, he was immediately reminded of Srinivasacharya, the renowned orator of Srimad Bhagavatam, who once inspired an entire kingdom to take up Vaishnav Dharma through his discourses in the assembly of King Birhambir. Srila Gurudev was deeply impressed by the revolutionary explanation of Bhagavatam given by these brahmacharis according to the precepts of pure devotion, taught by Srila Saraswati Thakur and his followers. And then there's a quote here from Gurudev. He was reading Bhagavatam there and explaining Bhagavat very strongly. Very strong feelings came to me because we had seen so many Goswamis and so many brahmacharis before. As my father was a singer, a very good singer, of Radha Krishna Leela and Mahaprabhu's Leela, Chaitanya Leela. He was a very big kirtaniya. Through that connection, big pandits and big Goswamis would come to our house. Therefore, I saw so many in my young age, but when I heard that brahmachari from Gaudiya Math, Narasimha Brahmachari, a new light came to me. That day I did not join there, but I stood by the door and listened for about half an hour. I decided that from tomorrow I would be here, and I would hear from him so much. And then back to the text. In particular, Srila Gurudev was struck by Narasimha Brahmachari's explanation of Prahlad Maharaj's verse, Komara Achrit Pragyo Dharman Bhagavatan Iha Dorlabam Manusham Janma Tad Apya Dhruvam Artadam. From childhood, the wise should engage in the practice of devotion to the Lord, because human birth in this world is very rare to attain and temporary, yet capable of granting one the goal of life. Srila Gurudev soon began associating closely with the brahmacharis on a daily basis, and they quickly accepted him within their group. And then there's a quote from Gurudev. I had played mridanga drums from a very early age, and I was well able to sing songs, so I had some capacity in this way. When I arrived, they were singing Vande Guru Shri Charanara Vindam, and I asked if I could join them and play the mridanga. They were surprised at my request, as I was just a village boy, but they gave the mridanga and I played. They were very impressed. And back to the text. Leaving everything behind, taking special interest in Srila Gurudev, the sadhus began to give him personal instructions. Sudarshan Prabhu especially touched Srila Gurudev's heart with his explanation of another verse from Srimad Bhagavatam. Gurur nasasyat, swajano nasasyat, pita nasasyat, janani nasasyat, daivam na tatsyan, napatischa sasyan, na mochedya samupeta mrityam. That guru is not a guru, that relative is not a relative, that father is not a father, that mother is not a mother, that God is not a God, and that husband is not a husband, if they cannot free one from imminent death, the bondage of material existence. Hearing for the first time strong emphasis being placed on the needs of the soul over and above the needs of the body, the satisfaction of the Lord over the satisfaction of oneself, and other principles of pure devotion, Srila Gurudev was deeply inspired. After a few days of association with the brahmacharis, he asked them if he could join their mission. They joyfully accepted. At that time in his life, Srila Gurudev had several career opportunities. I don't like that word. At that time in his life, Srila Gurudev had several opportunities, but captured by the message of these sadhus, he left everything to pursue a life of exclusive devotion to the Lord. And then there's a quote here from Gurudev. Then I came out, leaving everything. I had so many opportunities to go this line, go this line, go this line. 3 lines were prominent. One line was my father's line, to be a guru and singer. The second line was to be a doctor, a physician. At that time, if anyone would stay 5 or 10 years under the guidance of a doctor, he would receive a certificate. I was an apprentice to a good doctor in a hospital, and he gave me the charge of that hospital. Another opportunity was a big Goswami who had thousands of disciples. That Goswami liked me very much, and he had no son or daughter, only his wife. He wanted to keep me with him as an adopted son. But by the grace of Srila Guru Maharaj, I was attracted to Krishna consciousness, and all my plan and program was forgotten. I left everything at that time and joined. And back to the text. In the middle of the night, Jayadvaita Brahmachari quietly brought Srila Gurudev out of the village of Nadangat and led him on foot through the 15-kilometer journey to Sri Navadvip Dham. Along the way, there was a wide river to cross, but with no boat available at that early hour, they braved the water and swam across in the dark. First meeting. Srila Gurudev arrived at the Mat at 7 o'clock on the morning of Sri Nishinga Chaturdashi. At that time, the Mat had grown into a 2-room brick building. Deities of Sriman Mahaprabhu and Sri Giridhari lived in one room, and Srila Guru Maharaj lived in the other. Observing Srila Guru Maharaj's lofty figure for the first time as he paced back and forth on the veranda chanting on his japa mala, Srila Gurudev was immediately reminded of Srila Sanatana Goswami. In later years, Srila Gurudev would describe this first meeting with characteristic humility and heart-appealing charm. And there's a quote, "The first meeting with Srila Guru Maharaj was a very happy meeting, but not so happy for me. When a brahmachari took me to Guru Maharaj and I bowed down to Srila Guru Maharaj asked, 'Who is this boy?' That brahmachari said to Guru Maharaj, 'He has come to stay on our mat.' Guru Maharaj said, 'He looks like a nice boy. Can he stay forever in this mat?' I was a little sad to hear this because I had come to live in the mat. I was a village boy and I did not know diplomacy or duplicity. I wanted to join this mission and I had already come from my house and joined. So why did this question come, whether I can stay or not? That was a little disturbance for me. When I had already joined, why did this question come? But later I understood that it really is very heavy to practice Krishna consciousness. The life of a devotee is not so easy. I have had so many experiences in my life, however, and through that I understand that it is very easy for those who are fully surrendered to Krishna. Krishna appears in the form of Guru, and so who is fully surrendered to Gurudev has nothing to worry about. He will win the race, no doubt. If he can continue with his mood steadily, he must win the race. Many examinations will come in the life of a devotee, and we can happily cross them if around our neck there is a necklace with some chain, and if that chain is in the hand of Sri Gurudev. We can go here and there and do some nonsense things, but we cannot run away. Guru Maharaj affectionately asked me if I wanted to stay here and told me that if I could follow his direction, I would be so much greater. Then he said, "But can you do it? Can you follow me?" At that time, it was not my nature to tell anyone a negative answer. I was always giving a positive answer, so I said, "Sure, I can follow you." I also asked, "What is your instruction?" Then Guru Maharaj said, you won't follow your mind." Then Guru Maharaj said, "You won't follow your mind. This is my first instruction. And the second is to follow me. One is negative and another is positive. The positive instruction is to follow me, and the negative instruction is not to follow your mind." Srila Gurudev took these first directions he received from Srila Guru Maharaj so closely to heart that when he was instructed soon thereafter to forget all the songs he had learned during his childhood. He followed it so thoroughly that in later years, when requested to recite them, he could not. I knew some songs before, Vaishnav songs, but Sahajiya songs. The songs were good songs, no doubt, but Sahajiyas are singing those songs. Guru Maharaj told me, first you must forget these songs. I said, yes, I shall not sing them again, and from that time I never sang them. Later, after 25 or 30 years, Guru Maharaj wanted to hear some of those songs from me and asked, can you remember those songs? I said, Maharaj, I cannot remember them. I forget the singing style. Close quote. After his first interview with Srila Guru Maharaj, Srila Gurudev was welcomed into the mat, and the day passed in observance of the appearance of Sri Nrsimhadev. Lord Shiva's illusion. Srila Gurudev's first day in the mat, Nrsimha Chaturdasi, coincided with the main festival day during the Shiva Sannyas rites observed at the temple of Sri Buraraj Shiva in Jamalpur. Seeing a group of young men observing the rules of the temporary Shiva Sannyas and heading towards Sri Buraraj's temple to participate in the festival there, Srila Gurudev remembered his parents' promise to Lord Shiva and his intention from earlier to observe this rite that year. Because Gurudev's father had promised Lord Shiva that his son would take this Shiva sannyas, this like temporary sannyas. But then Gurudev, and you do it like, it's like kind of like a rite of passage, you do around 16. And so Gurudev, like, around the time that he would have done it, he ended up like running away secretly to the mat. And it turned out that was like the same day that everyone was doing the Shiva sannyas. But he'd forgotten. And then in the mat, he saw this big group of like 100, or hundreds, he says, of these sannyasis. So this is a quote from Gurudev. It is a miracle for me that I forgot Jamalpur that year. I was in some illusion created by Krishna consciousness, and I forgot Jamalpur. I am surprised by how it could happen. From the mat, I saw hundreds of temporary sannyasis going to Jamalpur, and then I remembered the festival. But before that, after mixing with our mat brahmacharis when they came to preach in Nadangat, I had forgotten. Sudarshan brahmachari especially made illusion over me, and I was convinced. Now I am thinking about how it was possible, but it happened. It is the grace of Lord Shiva. It is the grace of Lord Krishna. I was attracted to Lord Shiva, but Krishna, Radha Krishna, was my heart and soul. That was our family tradition, and my lifestyle was also like that. But Lord Shiva was in the middle, like a guru, I think. At present, this is what I think. At that time, I did not have so much consciousness. But now I think I was in the illusion of that brahmachari, Sudarshan brahmachari. There were a group of 5 or 6 in Nadangat, and I was attracted to their preaching matters. They made me temporarily renounced from this world's affairs, and I became liberated. Leaving everything, I went to Navadvip, to Guru Maharaj. I do not know what I understood, but I was very attracted, and how I came out of that material illusion I also do not know. I cannot feel what the cause was, but finally I can understand that this illusion was Lord Shiva's illusion. Lord Krishna was smiling to see that, and Srila Guru Maharaj finally gave me shelter. Lord Shiva made some illusion, Krishna was smiling to see that, and then Guru Maharaj gave me shelter. Srila Gurudev also commented humorously that perhaps his father's promise to Lord Shiva was not clear, and Shiva thought he wanted to offer his son permanently for Lord Krishna's service. Because this Shiva sannyas, it's normally like a 2-week thing. So Gurudev was joking, oh, maybe Shiva, he didn't understand. And my father said he would give me for Shiva sannyas, but Shiva understood that he would give me for full life sannyas. First examination. During his early days in the mat, Srila Gurudev noticed that Srila Guru Maharaj was closely observing his behavior. He later recalled what he described as his first examination. And then there's a quote here. One day in the mat, we were taking prasadam that was being distributed by one of the brahmacharis, and he gave me some dal. The dal looked very good, but there were some white insects inside it. I saw that, and I saw Guru Maharaj nearby watching or chanting. Now I understand that he was surely watching, but at that time I only saw Guru Maharaj chanting on the long veranda. When I was first given the dal and saw the insects, I shook my body and thought, oh, what nonsense this is. Then it immediately came in my mind. Guru Maharaj told me not to follow my mind, and my mind is telling me it is very bad, do not eat it. Then I immediately thought, oh no, I shall take it. My mind is telling me not to take it, so I must take it. Guru Maharaj said, this has come from the side of Guru Maharaj. The prasad is coming from him, so I must take it. And I took that. Then I went to Guru Maharaj. I did not rest at that time, but would go to Guru Maharaj every day after prasadam. Guru Maharaj would rest a little, but also speak something, and so I went to Guru Maharaj immediately. Guru Maharaj said, what happened with your prasadam? I said, Maharaj, there were some white insects. Was there? But you told me don't follow your mind, and my mind was telling me not to take it. Then I thought, the prasad is coming from your side, so I must take it, and I took it. And Guru Maharaj smiled and said, very good. That's the end of chapter 1. Shall I read a little more? Can I read a little
How
more?
are you with time for?
I'm okay for a time. We don't need to go that early to Green Street. So, but no, I'm happy to read a little more. Shall I read a little more? That feels too short. Chapter 2, Training. Shri Rupanugadara. By the 4th century, following the divine appearance of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu on earth, the divine love that he had revealed to the world, and the principles of pure devotion essential to realize this treasure, taught by his dearmost follower, Srila Rupa Goswami, had to an alarming extent become misunderstood and misrepresented in the society of the day. Seeing this distressful condition for sincere seekers of spiritual truth, the Blessed Lord sent his associates, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur and Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, to re-establish the proper meaning and practice of these teachings and set an impeccable precedent for the future. To this end, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur wrote more than 100 books, re-established the site of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's birthplace and early pastimes, clarified the true meaning and means of practicing Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's teachings, showed by example the essence and depth of these teachings, and prophesied that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Prema Dharma, his spiritual movement centered on the ideal of divine love, would soon spread all over the world in a pure and exalted form. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur vigorously continued Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur's work and achieved unprecedented success in both re-establishing the dignity of the teachings of Srila Rupa Goswami and Sriman Mahaprabhu and propagating them on a grand scale amongst the upper levels of society. His work was fearless and revolutionary on all fronts, as he denounced all varieties of misunderstanding and misrepresentation of the teachings in print. In this part is, Chagi Maharaj wrote this part, but I don't really like some of this. He re-established countless holy sites of the pastimes of Sriman Mahaprabhu and his associates, founded 64 temples throughout India, published in modern form all the principal texts of the Sampradaya, and started 4 regular periodicals presenting extensive news, scriptural discourse, biographical information, and topical articles. He sent emissaries of Sriman Mahaprabhu's teachings to Europe for the first time and laid all the necessary groundwork for its prophesied worldwide distribution. Through his intense earnestness, commanding presence, and deep erudition, Srila Saraswati Thakur attracted and trained many highly qualified scholars, renunciants, officials, and upstanding professionals to dedicate themselves to Sriman Mahaprabhu's service and carry on this movement into the future in a highly honorable and authentic manner. Srila Guru Maharaj took shelter of Srila Saraswati Thakur and soon became one of his principal representatives because of his expertise in scripture, depth of understanding, and chastity to the ideal. At the time of Srila Saraswati Thakur's passing from this world, Srila Guru Maharaj's importance became all the more evident when Srila Saraswati Thakur asked him in the midst of an assembly of all his principal followers to sing Sri Rupa Manjari Pada, the most highly honored prayer in the Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya, which expresses the highest ideal that is aspired after all. Seeing this request, the followers of Srila Saraswati Thakur understood Srila Saraswati Thakur had indicated that the Rupanuga Dhara, the divine currents coming down from Sriman Mahaprabhu through Srila Rupa Goswami, would continue in the future through Srila Guru Maharaj. After the departure of Srila Saraswati Thakur, many of his followers naturally turned to Srila Guru Maharaj for shelter, guidance, and leadership. But Srila Guru Maharaj was disinclined to adopt any formal position. He preferred a solitary life focused on study and discussion of the finest points of devotional understanding and sentiment amongst a small circle of dear friends and students. Srila Guru Maharaj eventually decided to start a small temple in Koladweep at the site of Gupta Govardhan, the hidden form of Govardhan Hill in Sri Navadvip Dham. He first went to seek the blessings of Sriman Nityananda Prabhu at his appearance place in Ekachakra. At that time, he received at heart an order from Sriman Nityananda Prabhu to share the wealth he had received from his Guru Maharaj with those who came to him. So Srila Guru Maharaj came to stay in Koladweep with the intention of modestly founding a temple and continuing the line of Srila Saraswati Thakur, according to the principles of pure devotional practice taught by Srila Rupa Goswami. He had with him some Govardhan Shilas from Vrindavan and soon installed a deity of Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu. Searching for an heir. Unbeknownst to Srila Gurudev, at the time that he arrived in Navadvip Dham, Srila Guru Maharaj was searching for a suitable person that he could train as the future acharya of his temple. Srila Guru Maharaj desired that he be intelligent, dutiful, and born in a Brahmin family. Seeing these qualifications in Srila Gurudev, Srila Guru Maharaj began to vigorously examine Srila Gurudev's fitness for the service of the Acharya, testing Srila Gurudev's character and conduct in numerous ways. He also requested his godbrothers and friends, such as Srimad Krishnadas Babaji Maharaj, his sister Rama Didi, and others, to test Srila Gurudev. They were all very pleased with him and gave good reports to Srila Guru Maharaj. Indeed, Krishnadas Babaji Maharaj was so pleased with his first impressions of Srila Gurudev that he soon, of his own accord, approached Srila Guru Maharaj and earnestly requested him, "You please give attention to this Sri Gaurendu Brahmachari. He is very intelligent and qualified." Srila Guru Maharaj engaged his young disciple as his personal servant and began to tutor Srila Gurudev himself. Desiring to train him specifically in the style and line of the Saraswat Gaudiya Sampradaya, Srila Guru Maharaj's very first instruction to Srila Gurudev was to memorize 32 songs he marked in Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur's Sharanagati within 1 week. In addition to other texts, Srila Guru Maharaj also particularly instructed him on the principal chapters of Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. Madhya Lila chapters 2, 6, 8, 19 to 24, and certain portions of the Antya Lila. My successor. At the end of Srila Gurudev's first week in the Mat, Srila Guru Maharaj was so pleased with him that he declared he would make Srila Gurudev his successor if he could remain under his direction and fulfill this responsibility. About 6 weeks later, on the way to Sri Puri Dham, Srila Guru Maharaj stopped at Sri Shamananda Gaudiya Mat in Midnapur, and there, in the company of Srimad Bhakti Vichar Jajavar Maharaj and a large assembly of Vaishnavas, first publicly announced that if Srila Gurudev could follow him, he would be his successor. Shortly after that, disregarding the normal 6-month trial period for new, why have I put monks here? Normally, let's say initiates here, because normally Srila Sridhar Maharaj would wait for 6 months before. No, this is for second initiation. I think normally for first, this is first initiation. This is first initiation. Yeah, normally it would be, I mean, like in I think in Hari Bhakti Vilas, it says 6 months up to 1 year. Like the guru should, or like on both sides, the guru and the disciple, they're like examining each other, So, I mean, like we were spoiled by Gurudev, because Gurudev was just so merciful, He would give people initiation, a few days after he met them, or even if he didn't know them, but on the recommendation of somebody else, right? Then he would give them initiation. I mean, Gurudev would give initiation. It was like Gurudev was on a mercy mission, as he was traveling around the world, So he wasn't following the normal custom of that, trial period. But Srila Sridhar Maharaj, he would follow that, he would wait 6 months. If somebody asked initiation, he would wait 6 months. But with Gurudev, he gave it to Gurudev on the Rath Yatra day. And Gurudev joined in May, so like 2 months, something like that, just 2 months after Gurudev joined. And then just a month later, Srila Sridhar Maharaj gave him second initiation, which also was, a very special thing. So, So Srila Sridhar Maharaj made that announcement, and this is even before Gurudev has taken initiation, that if this boy can follow me, he will be my successor. Shortly after that, disregarding the normal 6-month trial period for new initiates, Srila Guru Maharaj initiated, I have to find another word, that sounds weird. Srila Guru Maharaj initiated Srila Gurudev on Rath Yatra day in Sri Puri Dham. Srila Guru Maharaj bestowed second initiation on the young Srila Gurudev just over a month later, on the holy disappearance day of Srila Rupa Goswami. At that time, Srila Guru Maharaj gave him the name Sri Gorendu Brahmachari, because this was also the, like that, in the Western preaching, Gurudev and also Swami Maharaj, they made many adjustments, but the tradition in India was that a person would be given a new name at the time of second initiation, not first initiation. Actually, my mother, Devidasi Didi, she was the very first Western disciple of Srila Sridhar Maharaj. And so when she received initiation, because she'd been in ISKCON a little while, and so she saw the tradition that you received a new name after your first initiation, right? So she received initiation from Srila Sridhar Maharaj, and Srila Sridhar Maharaj didn't say anything about a name. So then she was like wondering, what's going on. So then she asked Srila Sridhar Maharaj, will you give me a new name? And then he said, oh, you want a new name? Like that. So then, because that wasn't the tradition, And remember also, like in India, everyone already has Vedic names anyway, So anyhow, then, because she asked, then he gave her Divyashari. Vrindavan. Soon afterwards, as the holy month of Kartik arrived, Srila Guru Maharaj took Srila Gurudev on a pilgrimage to Sri Vrindavan Dham for the first time and brought him to many of the sites of Lord Krishna's pastimes. They stayed 3 to 4 months, based at the Imli Tala Mat of Srimad Bhakti Saranga Goswami Maharaj. And that mat, it's like right around the corner, isn't it, from I think it's like a 5-minute walk, the Imli Tala temple, right? That was the temple of Bhakti Saranga. And Goswami Maharaj, he was a very dear godbrother of Srila Sridhar Maharaj. Bhakti Saranga Goswami Maharaj. They stayed 3 to 4 months, based at the Imli Tala Mat of Srimad Bhakti Saranga Goswami Maharaj. And during that time, they met with a number of Srila Guru Maharaj's godbrothers residing in Vrindavan. On one occasion at Pavan Sarovar in the Bhajan Kutir of Srila Sanatana Goswami, Srila Guru Maharaj began to teach Srila Gurudev about the ultimate development of Gaudiya Vaishnava practice. In particular, one day in Pavan Sarovar, he explained the principle of union and separation as given in the 8th verse of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Shikshashtakam. Ashlishyava pararatam pinashtumam adarshnan marmahatam karotu va yatata va vidada tulampato mat prananatas tusa eva napada. Krishna may firmly embrace this servant of his feet, or he may break my heart by deserting me. He is a debauchee, and no matter what he may do, no one but him will ever be the Lord of my heart. Srimad Krishnadas Babaji Maharaj, present at that time, was stunned that Srila Guru Maharaj was speaking about this deep subject, considered fit to be discussed only by highly advanced Vaishnavas, to Srila Gurudev as a young newcomer. Babaji Maharaj questioned him, "He is a very young boy. How will he understand the meaning of this verse? Why are you telling this to this boy?" Srila Guru Maharaj responded confidently, "Many, many births ago, he crossed over other things. You see that he is a boy, but I do not see that. For many births ago, he has realization of this subject. He can catch this, but an old man may not. He has the samskar, he has the quality." The place of Sri Lalita Devi. After completing their circumambulation of Vrindavan Dham, Srila Guru Maharaj asked Srila Gurudev at which place he felt special attraction to serve. Many years before, desiring to examine the taste of his disciples, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur had similarly questioned his disciples in Vrindavan. At that time, Srila Guru Maharaj had answered that he felt special affinity for Kadam Kandi, the place of Srila Rupa Goswami. Srila Guru Maharaj now examined his own disciple, and Srila Gurudev responded that he felt special attraction to Ucha Gaon, the place of Sri Lalita Devi. In giving this answer, Srila Gurudev revealed his natural mood as an exclusive follower of Srila Rupa Goswami, engaged in the service of Srimati Radharani within the party of Sri Lalita Devi, the chief servitor of Sri Sri Radha Govinda. Srila Guru Maharaj was very pleased with this answer and told him he was very fortunate. He then gave Srila Gurudev some special instructions about his engagement in such divine service, based on the paramount ideal of service set by Sri Lalita Devi, as described by Srila Rupa Goswami. Radha Mukunda Padasambhava Garma Bindu Nirmanchano Pakarani Krita Deha Laksham Utunga Sohrida Vishesha Vashat Pragalbam Devim Gunai Sulalitam Lalitam Namami. To remove a drop of sweat that has arisen on the feet of Radha Mukunda, she engages herself as if with 100,000 bodies. She is bold out of highly advanced friendship, replete with virtues and most enchanting. I offer my obeisance unto Sri Lalita Devi. Here, the standard of devotion in the Rupanuga Sampradaya is set, to have the greatest earnestness to perform even the least service at the moment of its necessity. After receiving special grace and instruction in this from Srila Guru Maharaj, here at the beginning of his devotional life, Srila Gurudev went on to perform all of his service throughout the whole of his life, in accordance with this highest ideal. As the value of devotional service is shaped largely by the intent and ideal according to which it is performed, Srila Gurudev reached and maintains the highest standard in Srila Rupa Goswami's line through his unparalleled and profoundly personal devotion to Srila Guru Maharaj. Holding and seeing Srila Guru Maharaj in his heart is non-different from Sri Rupa and Srimati Radharani. This early visit to Ucha Gaon made such a deep impression on Srila Gurudev that in later years, when he would come to Vrindavan Dham, although he would send others there, he never again personally went back to this exact place. And I have a quote here from Gurudev. When I fortunately came to Vrindavan with Guru Maharaj, he gave me very close association and mercy and showed me all around Vrindavan the pastimes of Krishna, walking place to place, and sometimes by tanga, horse and cart. After finishing our parikrama, Guru Maharaj asked me, "Which place did you feel is best in your heart?" I didn't know Siddhanta. I had no idea actually of what is what here. When Guru Maharaj asked, "Which place do you like most of all? Which place appealed to your heart in a very sweet way?" I could easily say Varshana or Yavat, Kadam Kandi or Radha Kund, Shama Kund, Giri Govardhan. But I told him, "Maharaj, I like Ucha Gaon very much." Actually, there is very little there. It is a very quiet and simple place, but beautiful, no doubt. All the scenery and temples were at that time very beautiful, and only 1 or 2 men were living there. And when I expressed how I felt very exclusive happiness coming to me from that place, I think it was an examination of Guru Maharaj. Now I can understand more, but at that time I did not know much. Guru Maharaj wanted to see which line I followed, and when he heard Ucha Gaon, he was a little surprised, but not fully surprised. Now I don't want to break that feeling. To this day, I am still not going to Ucha Gaon. If it is my fortune to live there, I invite that fortune wholeheartedly in my eternal and transcendental service world. I am living in this mundane world within illusion, so I don't want to invite that transcendental service place into this illusion. This is my own feeling. Of course, I am going to Radha Kund and Shama Kund, but not Ucha Gaon, and I am keeping it there in my heart, like my worshipable temple, and I am happy this feeling comes to me. Whether it's the birthplace of Lalita Devi or her husband's place, I don't even know. I am just remembering that place by the mercy of Guru Maharaj. I'm not even trying to find out if it's the birthplace or bhajan place. It is my prayer it will be revealed in my heart. He will be a great acharya. In addition to his profound spiritual depth of feeling, Srila Gurudev also showed an extraordinary power to attract and inspire others from his early years. On one occasion when Srila Gurudev was sent to Delhi from Vrindavan for some programs, His Divine Grace began a kirtan early one morning by the bank of the Jamuna River with a couple of brahmacharis. The local people became attracted, and within a short period of time, 400 to 500 persons enthusiastically gathered around them to participate in the kirtan. Srila Guru Maharaj unexpectedly arrived to Delhi at that time to check on their activities, and seeing this grand scene from a distance, predicted, "He will be a great acharya in this world in the future." Later, Srila Guru Maharaj also told Srila Gurudev, "You will never need to run behind anyone, but many will run behind you." Okay, I think it's a good place to stop. And my battery is also about to go. Jai Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj Jai.